Okay. Good morning, class. So yesterday we were doing the percentage. I always give more importance to this topic percentage. The reason yesterday I have cleared it, because many other topics are directly or indirectly connected with the percentage. Okay. Hope you have revised everything, because I told you yesterday itself, like most of the topic are connected with this, the first class or second class. So you have to know all, because see, if basic is clear now, then we can solve n number of the problems, or we can solve the other topic also, because only the terminologies are different. Like in profit and loss, the final value becomes selling price and initial value become cost price. We will discuss, don't worry. I'm just giving an example. The final value becomes selling price and initial value become cost price, and everything will be more or less same, and you will find out that, okay, I have already done all this thing, but in different terminology, in different like a name. So like discount is what? You are decreasing something from somewhere. You are decreasing something, that is called as discount. So already we have discussed what will happen if there is a percent of decrement and all. So you have to understand the importance of this topic, and this is going to help you throughout the mathematics, all the topics, because this is the basic. The basic of mathematics is percentage, I can say. Okay. So yesterday we were doing the like a D is equal to S into T, or some more we have taken the example like expenditure is equal to price into consumption. Expenditure is equal to price into consumption. This question this formula is very important, because this is where the question is coming. Expenditure is equal to price into consumption, where the question is coming. This is the most important one. Now before coming to the other part, let's, whatever we have done yesterday, the successive increment and decrement. So let's come to some more problem on successive increment and decrement. What was that? Like suppose if 100 rupees is there, if I increase 10% first year, always go with the language. First year 10% increment. Increment means what? Increment means addition. How much addition? 10%. So 10% increment, the value become 110. Second year, what will happen? Second year, suppose 20% increment. Increment means addition. How much addition? 20%. So we have to understand here, this 20% increment occur at this base value, not this base value. Why? Because it's a every year increment, compounding effect, this is basically we can say. So this is this value, base value, the second year increment occur, and if you increase this by 20%, 10% become 11, 20% become 22, and this become 132. So I can say total increment is of 32%. This is one way to understand. The second way to understand is, suppose what will happen first year? First year, the price or anything, the population price or anything will increase by 10%. Suppose I am saying the price is increasing by 10% first year. So when the price is increasing 10%, what is the price after first year? Initially suppose it was 100. When it increased by 10%, this become 110 upon 100. These are very simple thing, but you have to understand, if anything is increasing by 10%, that means that thing become 110%, because the number was already 100%. If I am saying suppose I am saying the price increased by 25%, what will come in your mind? The first thing which should come in your mind is, initially the price was 100%. If price is increased by 25%, then now the price become 125%. This is the first thing which should come in your mind. Are you getting my point or not? If I am saying price is decreased by 25%, price is decreased by 25%, what should come in your mind? Now the price become 75%. Now the price become 75%. Now, if you know, more than means plus, less than minus, times means multiplication. Okay, times, if you are asking like how many times, yes, then times means multiplication, yes. We can say like this way. How many pages to leave for the first class? I don't know about the pages, but I know about this thing. If you have missed the first class and if you are not good at maths, then you are going to face a lot of problem in today's class. Okay? Even those guys who has not revised the yesterday class, they are going to face lot of problem here. The reason is simple. Dekho, if you want anything in life now, there are 2-3 I can say attributes or property you should always have. If that 2-3 thing is not there, you're not going to achieve anything in life. The first and foremost thing is focused. Anybody who has achieved something in life, either any sportman or any businessman or any politician, always if you go and ask them, they will say what is the most important first thing required, they will say the focus. Fine. Focus is the most important thing. What is the meaning of focus here? You want to clear the examination, then in that case what you have to do? You have to be very focused for this examination, because there are a lot of distraction. Okay? Your friends are there, they are going for a movie. Okay? Then in that case you also want to go for a movie, but you have to be very focused, because the journey is very, I can say, it's not a 1 day or 2 day journey. The UPSC examination itself is a minimum 1.5 year journey. If you started 1.5 year, the next year, like you will give exam, then mains exam, then interview, at least 1.5 year, or max, like and maximum there is a no limit. It can be 5 year, 10 year also. It can have no limit. But minimum at least 1.5 year. So that minimum 1.5 year require a lot of focus. Because every time you have some distraction, every time something happened in your family, in your friend circle, in your relative, some marriage is going on, something is going on, but you have to be very focused. Okay, I need to achieve this target. And only focus can't help you. Only focus can't help you. The second thing is, after focus, what is the second most important thing is discipline. If you are not disciplined person, even after focus also you are not going to achieve something. Discipline is the thing which required most to achieve any of the target. If you want to achieve anything in the life, be disciplined. Okay? Be disciplined means, suppose you have started something, okay, I have make a plan for this week, I will read for 10 hours every day, suppose. Or 10 hours sometimes is not possible, to 6 to 7 hours every day. So that 6 to 7 hours every day means 6 to 7 hours minimum. Are you getting my point or not? Generally what happen? First day we will follow, second day we will follow, third day we will not follow. First day we will read 6 hours, second day we will read 7 hours, probably 7 day 10 hours, and fourth day we are not going to read. Exhausted. Okay? So what happened? The focus, discipline, these two, and I personally believe the honesty also. Honesty with yourself. Okay? Because if you're not honest to yourself, you're not going to achieve anything. Okay? Because see, to clear any examination, some 3 or 4 qualities are required, which I told you, the focus, discipline, or like to clear the UPSC examination. Some fixed patterns are there. You have to practice for mains. You have to practice for the answer writing. You should practice for the, for interview, you have to develop your personalities. For prelims, you need to remember so many things. You have to remember the current affair and all. These basic things are required. Everybody know this thing. But the problem is what? The problem is, even you know, okay, I'm not good in mains answer writing, but you're not practicing. You are not practicing. You know that, okay, my, suppose some North Indian guy are there, his English is not that, or communication is not that much good, and he's not practicing, he's not improving his English, or so many other issues also. Okay? Subject knowledge is very easy. You can read A book, B book, C book, D book, you will get the knowledge. But the practice, the answer writing, the prelims paper solving ability, all these things are the most important thing. You read n number of book, even though you are not able to solve the problem. Why? Because you don't know actually how to solve the paper. You don't know how to solve the paper. Are you getting my point or not? So, the most important thing which I know is, like, you should be very focused, very disciplined, and honest to yourself. Okay? Honesty is also very important, because if you are not honest to yourself, you know your weakness better than anybody else. You know what is your weakness. Suppose my weakness is mathematics. I am taking an example. So there is no other way out. You cannot leave that subject. You cannot say, okay, I will not read mathematics and I will clear the exam. It's not possible. Or otherwise you should have some strategy to clear the CSAT paper. Are you getting my point or not? So the proper way of approaching an examination is very important. Because we know everything. Okay, I am weak in this, I am weak in geography, I am weak in polity, okay, my communication is not that great, I am not good in answer writing, but we are not doing anything for that. The simple question is, are you doing anything to overcome that problem or not? If you are not doing anything to overcome that problem, that means you are not going to clear. No miracle is going to happen. Always remember this thing. We always believe in miracle. Okay, something happened and I will clear the examination. How this is possible? You are not good in, suppose, a particular subject, and you think, okay, I will solve all the problem, I will write anything and I will get the mark. You are not good in essay, and you think, okay, I will write anything and I will get the marks. This is not possible. This is vague expectation. And you will, at the end of the day, you will get nothing. You will get nothing. Okay, some doubt are there, I will take in the break or in the last, don't worry, whatever doubt you have. So, always remember, sir, if you're preparing, prepare seriously. Otherwise, what will happen after 2 years, 3 years, you wasted your 2 or 3 years and you are not going to get anything if you're not serious. So be serious, be focused. Are you getting my point or not? Otherwise, you are not going to achieve anything. So I hope you guys have just gone through the previous class. You have gone through the previous class. And you have solved the thing, because all these things are going to come in the examination. The language will be like this. A number is increased by 25%. A number is increased by 25%. And now the number become 625. Suppose the question is this. After 25% increment, the number becomes 625. Find the original number. And you struggle to understand what the question is saying. If you are exactly weak in mathematics, you will struggle here. But what I am telling you, if anything is increased by 25%, the first thing should come in your mind. Always remember, this marker is there. If I increase 25%, that means this marker is going to increase 25%. That means it was 100%, now 25% increment, that means that become 125%. Are you getting my point or not? Please keep this in mind. If I say anything increased by 75%, the first thing which come in your mind is, okay, anything was 100, now 75% increment, that means the number become 175%. If I say anything decreased by 25%, that means the number was 100%, If it's decreased by 25%, then the number become 75%. If all these things are clear, you have crossed the first hurdle. Now, the second hurdle is, might be some questions are there according to the question, we will solve that. According to the question, we will solve that. But understand, these things are very much important. If you don't know, if you're not able to understand, okay, what is the meaning of 10% increment, listen very carefully from even today class also I am going very basic. But once I have done with all the basics, I will start giving you the tough question which is coming in the examination. So don't think so that all classes will be like this. Since it's a very basic class and I always focus on basic, because I know that if basic is clear, you can solve any problem. But if you're not not practicing, not revising the thing, it's become difficult for you and it's become difficult for me. Because it's not that math is very easy. It's not very easy. I'm very clear on that. But yes, we can easily understand if we know the basic. So that's why I'm very much focusing on the basic thing. And these basic will help you to solve any difficult problem also. I will make sure you are able to solve even the toughest problem which came in the UPSC or CSAT paper. But that's required a clear-cut basic. So please, it's a request to you guys, whatever we are discussing, just revise everything, come to the next class. Having doubt is not a problem. Having doubt is not a problem. You can ask n number of doubt. Whatever is relevant, I will take it up. Having doubt is not a problem. The problem is you are not doing anything. Okay? If you have a doubt, we can have some different mechanism also. I will take a doubt class itself. We can have n number of things. Don't worry for that. But start doing something. The aim is not to complete the syllabus. Okay, I have completed the percentage. Now my job is over. No. The aim is you should understand the concept. You should understand the problem. Now you are able to solve at least. I told you yesterday itself. I know you are not going to become Shaktiman in next 10 days or 15 days. My aim is not that out of 30 questions, you are able to solve all 30 problems. Even I am not able to solve in the examination. If I start giving CSAT paper, I am not able to solve all 30 problems. My aim is out of 30, at least you are able to solve 15 to 20 questions. That is my aim. At least minimum 15 or maximum whatever you want, but minimum 15 to 20 questions you are solved from mathematics. And I will make sure you will able to solve 15 to 20, because I know as soon as percentage is clear to you guys, 10 question done. I am repeating myself. As soon as percentage is clear, 10 question done. Even if you attended yesterday class and all the concept is clear, at least 6 to 7 question is done. Are you getting my point or not? So my aim is very simple. I know, because you need not require 120 or 150 or 190 marks now. You only require to clear the cutoff. So that requires, think about that. Out of 80, 20 question mathematics you are done. That means 50 marks. You hardly require some 16 or 17 more marks to clear the examination. How easy it will become, or not? How easy it will become to clear the CSAT. No burden, nothing at all. And you come up with okay sir, I have done I am getting some 100 marks because my maths was very good. So my aim is very simple, sir. I just want to make sure some 15 to 20 question, not more than that. And the reason is very simple. In next 15 days, you are not going, if you know the maths, then definitely you are going to get some good questions, some good concept. If you are okay with the maths, you are going to get some really good concept, and with the help of that you can solve the paper. But if you are not doing anything, I can't help. If you are not doing anything, I can't help. Come back to the question. So I was telling that here if you see the first year, it was the value was 100, you increase by 10%. What is the meaning of increment of 10%? That means it become 110%. I hope this is clear to you, the increment of 10%. Second year, what will happen? Second year, the increment is of 20%. What is the meaning of 20% increment? 20% increment means the first year value, and 20% increment means now the first year value will increase by 20%. It is getting increased by 20%. So that means this become 100, into 110 into 120 upon 100. This is another thing. Now be very good observant and see. Suppose anyway it is written x into 125 upon 100 into 72 upon 100 into 120 upon 100. If I ask you what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? So be very careful here. The first terminology. What is the meaning of this? Forgot about this thing. Forgot about these two things. Now if I take only this part, the meaning is x is increased by 25%. X is increased by 25%. If I take this as a P, suppose this as a P. Now what is the meaning of this? P into 72 upon 100. That means whatever value will come after 25% increment, now that value 72 upon 100 means that value is decreased by, that value is decreased by 28%. That value is decreased by 28% or not? Because it was 100%, now it's become 72, that means 28% decrement. Or I can say, now this value becomes 72%. This value become, both things are same. Either I will say 28% decrement, or I say the value becomes 72%, both have same meaning. Because if anything, see here, suppose this cap, this marker is there, if I remove this cap, this is 20% of this marker, suppose. So this become 80%. This become, because I have removed 20%, now this marker becomes 70%. Or I can say that this marker length now become 80%, both have same meaning. Because become 80% means anything was 100%, now it's become 80%, that means there is a decrement of 20% or not. Now these will be the language of the question. I will come to that. These will be the language of the question, and people don't understand the language and they will say the problem was very much difficult. No, it's not difficult. If you understand all this terminology, what is the meaning of this? The population of a country decreased by 28%. Now the first thing which come in your mind is, okay, now the population was 100%, now population is decreasing by 28%, now that means the population now become 72%. Next year, the population increased by 20%. What happened? First year, population decreased by 28%, next year, the population increased by 20%. What will happen? Now understand, first year, population is decreased by 28%, and next year the population is increased by 20%. Now the population is increased by 20%. Are you getting my point or not? And suppose they are giving the question, the new population is 3,600. Now see how easy it will become. What is the question? The question is the first year the population decreased by 28%. When population is decreased by 28%, the population becomes 72 upon 100. Next year, the population increased by 20%. Next year, population increasing by 20%. And now the population become 3,600. What is the original population? Now we can solve this thing. Are you getting my point or not? ठीक है, चलो, we will do some questions so that it will become more clear to you. I hope this thing is clear. Just note a question. Just note a question and it's become more clear to you guys. It's become more clear to you guys. If the numerator and denominator of a fraction, if a numerator and denominator of a fraction is increased and decreased by 28%, 25% respectively, increased and decreased by 25%, that means numerator is increased by 25% and denominator is decreased by 25% respectively, the fraction become 3 by 4. The fraction become 3 by 4. Find the original value of fraction, or find the original fraction value. Find the original fraction value. Okay, let's do this question together. Suppose the fraction is x upon y. Suppose the fraction is x upon y. Okay, now how come 3600 is coming? That was a random. I have taken some data. I haven't solved that. Data was random. The data was random. Okay. Now the fraction is x upon, any fraction will be in the form, this form, x upon y. The question is saying that the numerator is increased by 25%. That means this become 125%. And denominator is decreased by 75%. 25%. That means this become 75%. It's increased by 25%, is decreased by 25%. So when increase 125%, decrease 75%. And now the value is 3 upon 4. We can remove this percentage sign. Why? Because here also percent is there, here also percent is there. Now we can solve this thing. So x upon y, now we will do the cross multiplication. 3 into 3 upon 5 into 4, 9 upon 20, and this is the correct answer. The original fraction is 9 upon 20, and how easy this question is if you know the logic. If you know the logic, the question become very easy. If you know the logic, the question become very easy. Okay. Suppose a question is like this. A number is increased by 25%. क्या है? A number is first increased by 25%, then decreased by 20%. A number is increased by 25%, then decrease by 20%, then again increase by 20% or 10, let us make 10, and then again increase by 10%. A number is first increase by 25%, then decrease by 20%, then again increase by 10%, and now the number become 550. The number become 550. Find the original number. Find the original number. Very simple problem. Find the original number. What is the question? A number is there, we don't know the number. Increase by 25%, decrease by 20%, then increase by 10%, and number become 550. This is given. Find the original number. How we can do it? Suppose number is P. First increase by 25%, then decrease by 20%, then again increase by 10%, and number become 550. Okay. We can solve this further. 5, 4, 20. So what is the value of P? P become 550 into 10 upon 11. And the answer become 500. The answer become 500. A simple thing. Now this question can be like this. The population of a country or population of a state first year increase by 25%, second year decrease by 20%, third year the population increase by 10%, and suppose the question is giving after that, after 3 years the population becomes, suppose they will give data in some lakhs, 5,50,000. Find the original population. So you can solve the problem like this. You can solve the problem like this. Are you getting my point or not? So if you know this concept increment and decrement, many problems you can solve without doing anything. Another problem. Suppose this question, this type of question came in UPSC also. It's given that X is 20% more than Y. X is 20% more than Y. And okay, wait, just a minute. Not this question, the question was like this. Two numbers are 20% and 25% less than third number. The question is, two numbers are 20% and 25% less than third number. Third number. See, just wait here, just one doubt here. Suppose I am writing X into 110 upon 100 and then 120 upon 100. So what does this mean? This means that suppose this is first year, this is second year. So this value represents the first year value. Because X was original value, you increase by 10%, that means this becomes first year value. So I can either denote this, suppose if I am writing like this, first year the value increase by 10%. So this value become P barabar, suppose X into 110 upon 100. Second year, the value increase by 20%. So what I will write? For second year, I will write P into 120 upon 100. And when you put the value of P here, the same thing will come or not? So this doesn't mean that you are increasing this value on original. You are increasing this 20% on this value. And this is what? This is first year value. That means successive increment or decrement case. So don't get confused here. This whole will show the first year value. Now you are increasing on the first year. Okay. The question is, two numbers are 20% and 25% less than third number. Find out respectively. Find out first number is how much percent more or less than second number. Now the question is what? Two number are 20% and 25% less than third number. Find out first number is how much percent less than first and second number. Now what I am doing? I am mixing the concept. The yesterday and today concept I am mixing and try to make another question. Now if you see here, what is given? Suppose a number is X. Suppose this is third number. Now two number are there. One number is 21st number is 20% less. And second number is 25% less than third number. This is what we have. Now instead of X, can I assume, okay, one more gyan for you guys. If all the data are given in this is not written in any book. Whatever I am telling this thing, which I told you like Brahma Gyan, that Brahma Gyan is coming from experience. That thing is coming from experience, from practices of previous 6-7 years. You won't get all this thing in the book. You can assume X and you can find out the answer. But there is a better way. The better way is whenever all data are given in percentage and final answer is also in percentage, listen very carefully. You can make a note and you can write it down. If all the data are given in percentage and the final answer is also there in percentage, in that case, what you can do, you can take any value and you will get your answer. You can take any value instead of X. Instead of X, you can take any value and you will get the answer. But since we are solving for ourselves, we will take the simplest value, and simplest value is what? Simplest value is 100. If I take this number as 100, third number as 100, the first number is 20% less. Now remember yesterday class, the language of mathematics. The language of mathematics means, say, less means subtraction. Less means subtraction. How much less? 20% less. So 20% less means 20% subtraction, 20% decrement. If I decrease 20%, how to decrease 20%? For common sense, find out 20% and decrease that value. If I have to decrease 20% length of this marker, what I will do? I will find out 20%, I will cut it down, 20% is decrease. Decrease means minus, increase means addition. From yesterday I am making all this thing. So 20% decrement means 20% less, 20% of this number is 20, this become 80, this becomes 75, I hope. So first part is over. This part is over. Now you have won this part. You know what is there in this question. I'm coming again, I'm telling, I'm doing very basic. The reason is what? So that you will understand. And now I will make sure you can solve any of the problem of the previous year or whatever is going to come next. But you have to be very careful with the language, with the concept, and if you know both the thing, if you master both the thing, then you can do wonder. Find out first number is how much percent more or less than second number. Come to the yesterday class. Percent of more or less. Percent of more, percent of less. As soon as this will come, what should come in your mind? In my mind, that means they are asking about percent of change, and percent of change is final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. Now the question is, what is final value, what is initial value? So yesterday we have discussed like this, percent of more and percent of less is coming along with the second number. Coming along with the second number. That means second number is initial value and the first number is final value. First number is final value and second number is initial value. First number is how much percent more or percent less than second number. So final value is, so percent of change become what? 80 minus 75 upon 75 into 100. This become 5 upon 75 into 100. So 100 upon 15, I think 6.66. You can solve 6.66 or 6.67. Final value. Here two concepts are involved, which we have discussed yesterday, today also. Percent of more, percent of less. Then this value, final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100, and things are done. Things are done. Now tell me, this is an easy question, difficult question? This is easy or difficult? If you know the concept, this is easy. If you don't know the concept, this is difficult. Tell me. Great. And this question came in UPSC and many of the PCS examination also. This question came in UPSC and many of the PCS examination also, and you can solve such problem very easily. You can solve such problem very easily. This question came not only in UPSC but also in the many of the state PCS I have seen. And a student is not able to, because they don't know the language. They don't know the meaning of these sentences. They don't know the meaning of these sentences. But if you know all this thing, it's become very easy. It's become very easy. Now, some conceptual. I'm upgrading you. I am upgrading you further. Okay? Be here, listen very carefully. I'm further upgrading you. I'm challenging your thought process now. Okay. Just a little bit thing. Suppose anything is 100. If you increase 25%, the number become 125. Listen very carefully now. If anything was 100, now if you increase it by 25%, the number become 125. Now the question is, how much I have to decrease now? How much I have to decrease now so that I will reach here? I will reach here. So see very carefully, the percentage is dependent on the base value. The percentage is dependent on the base value. So right now we are finding out 25% of 100. Now the value become 125. But in the case of successive increment or decrement, if next decrement I have to do, I will decrease from 125. And if you see, here the base was 100, here the base become 125. So definitely, if I decrease 25% from here, 25% from here, this will be less than 100 or not? This will be less than 100 or not? Why less than 100? Because base value has increased. Because base value has increased. And why base value has increased? Because we have increased it by 25%. So now we don't need to decrease by 25% to reach here. We need to decrease only 20%. From where this 20% is coming? This 20% is coming from this become 10% become 12.5 and 20% become 25. So if we see, the absolute number will remain same. Listen carefully. Here you are increasing 25. Here you have to decrease 25. Here you are increasing 25 to reach 125. And here you have to decrease 25 to reach 100. But the percentage is different. Why percentage is different? Because here 25% we are finding with respect to 100. And here minus 25 we are finding out with respect to 125. We are finding out with respect to 125. Are you getting my point or not? So here the decrement is only of 20%. 20%. Now the question become what? The question become 100 is how much percent less than 125? 100 is how much percent less than 125? Now you can apply the concept of final value, initial value and all, and you will get your answer. Okay? So a question can be like this. A salary is 30% more than B salary. A salary is 30% more than B salary. Then B salary is how much percent less than A salary? A salary is 30% more than B salary. Then B salary is how much percent less than A salary? So if I take this value as 100, this value become 130 because A salary is 30% more than B salary. So if B salary is 100, A salary become 130. Now the question is, B salary is how much percent less than A salary? That means 100 is how much percent less than 130? So again the concept percent less A salary, that means we need to find out percent of change. Percent of change is change upon initial value into 100. What is change? Change is of minus 30. What is initial value? We know that the much percent less than A salary. That means we are comparing with A. So A become the initial value. So final value, initial value upon initial value into 100. This become minus 300 upon 13. You will solve, you will find out your answer. You will find out your answer. When both, yes, I told you, when both number are in the, when everything given in the percentage, in the data form, that means no number is given, everything given in the data percentage form for data, like in the question, particular question, all data are given in percentage and final answer is also in the percentage, then we can assume like instead of x, whatever you are going to assume equal to x, instead of that you will assume as a 100. We will come to like another question for that also, don't worry. So I think this is making sense, such questions. Now UPSC is sometime ask this question, but UPSC ask a better question. UPSC ask a better question. Note a question. Write down a question. UPSC will ask a better question in a conceptual, same concept. Note a question. The population of a country in 2019, the population of a country in 2019 is increased by X percent. Is increased by X percent. The population of a country in 2019 is increased by X percent. In 2020, because of coronavirus, in 2020, because of coronavirus, the population is decreased by Y percent. The population is decreased by Y percent in such a way that after Y percent decrement, in such a way that after Y percent decrement, the population is equal to, the population become, or the population now equal to starting population of 2019. Starting population of 2019. I am repeating. In 2019, the population increased by X percent. Because of coronavirus in 2020, the population decreased by Y percent in such a way that new population is equal to starting population of 2019. Then, which of the following can be true, or which of the following is true? The language can be better in the examination. The concept will be remain same. Understand the feelings. Are you getting my point or not? Because I'm not making a question properly. I'm just whatever is coming in my mind, I'm just giving that language. So it can be better. Okay, you can further refine the language, but the concept will be remain same. Okay, which can be drawn by the above statement. The first one option is X is more than Y. Second is Y is more than X. Third is X is equal to Y. And fourth is can't be determined. Answer it. 2019 population increased by X%. 2020 population decreased by Y%. Decrease, here increase, here decrease. In such a way that the new population after decrement is equal to the starting population of 2019. Just solve this problem. Okay. Yes, almost all are correct. Everybody is correct. Great. But if I give this problem directly without explaining the concept, 100% you are going to make mistake here. 100% you are going to make mistake here. It's become easy because you know the concept. Because you know the concept. If you don't know the concept, it's become very difficult for you to solve this problem. And it's giving me like a lot of happiness that everybody is correct. Everybody is correct. See, you can take any example. Population was 100. Suppose increase by 25%. The last example is become 125. Now if has to come in the original like this population, this has to decrease only by 20%. And this is always true. Why? Because here the base will increase. When base will increase, we need always less percentage. Are you getting my point not? Here base was smaller. So we need 25%. Here base increase. So we need only 20%. Is this making sense or not? So this is a very simple question if you know the concept. Otherwise in the examination, I'm damn sure most of the people will mark can't be determined because nothing is given. Because only X and Y is given, nothing else is given, and most of you will mark can't be determined. Is this making sense or not? So now you can see that with the basic concept, even we can solve the toughest problem of UPSC. This problem I can categorize as one of the toughest problem. One of the toughest problem. Because UPSC is not going to ask you 4.35% of 9.3332275. UPSC is not going to ask this question. Okay, this is a very difficult one. No. They are not going to ask this one. They are going to ask the concept. They are going to ask go and check the previous year paper. You can find out what kind of question UPSC is asking, and you will find out they are asking the conceptual problem rather than the calculative problem. And this is one of the difficult concept which I can say UPSC will ask, and most of the people will make mistake here. Okay. So if you know the basic, now you can see how easy it is. Not even a single guy is wrong. Yes. The first question is 25% increment. This become 125. Now the question is 100 is how much less than 125? How much percent less than 125? So 100 is how much percent less than 125? That means 125 become initial, this become final, and you can answer. Now you can say mass is easy or not. Remind yourself, mass is easy. Remind yourself, mass is easy. Are you getting my point or not? And why mass is easy? Because we know the basic concept. So if you know the basic concept, we can say that maths is a easiest subject. Problem is what? We don't know the language of maths, and nobody tell us the language of maths. Nobody tell us the language of maths. They will come to the X, Y, and Z, and they ask you remind this formula, that formula. But when UPSC asks such question, no formula is applicable. No formula is applicable here or not? Tell me, sir. No formula is applicable here. Is required pure concept understanding or not? And if you understand the concept, nobody can stop you to solve 15 to 20 questions. Remind that. Put this thing in your mind. I will solve these problem. I will solve at least 15 to 20 problem, because maths is easy. And why maths is easy? Because we know the concept of the maths. We know the basic concept of the maths. So that is the thing. Because your approach is always wrong, you will always go for formula, and that's why people say, sir, CSAT is difficult because UPSC कुछ अलग ही पूछता है, यही अलग पूछता है. This is what UPSC is asking differently. Because they are not asking direct question, they are asking question in different way. And people think that it's what very difficult, because I have never solved such problem. I have never solved such problem. And why you never solve such problem? Because nobody has taken that pain. Okay, let's change that question to in this form. The question is similar. A salary is more than, you have done this question. A salary is more than 25% than B salary. Then B salary is how much percent less than A salary? But you have never done this question. Why? Because nobody has taken this pain to change this into this format. And when UPSC asks, people will say, sir, this is the difficult problem. But actually this not difficult, is different problem. And different problem always required basic clarity of the concept. And if your concept is clear, again, you can come up with any of the problem of mathematics, and you will able to solve. You will able to solve that problem if you know the basic. I hope this is making sense. I hope this is making sense. Now you become, अब देखो आप शक्तिमान धीमे धीमे बन रहे हो कि नहीं बन रहे? You become शक्तिमान slowly or not? Because you are solving the one of the toughest problem of maths also in the percentage. So first class, you move towards become Shaktiman. Second class, you move closer to become Shaktiman. Always remind yourself, okay, I will become Shaktiman. That will solve at least 15 to 20 problem. Now, come back here and we will solve some more problems, some more concept here. Okay, 1 and 2, 3 more concept probably we will able to finish percentage today. And next class we will start the profit and loss and CI and SI. Profit and loss, if I complete today class, I will say profit and loss is over. There is nothing new in profit and loss. You already know everything in profit and loss. I will make sure I will not teach any other concept in profit and loss. Whatever I have taken in the first and second class, I will teach with the help of that. In CI and SI, I will not teach any new concept. Basic will be same. Yes, terminology will be different. Terminology will be different. Yes, if terminology is different, like first decrease, then increase, then you can go accordingly. Anything was 100, is become 80. So now what will become? Are you getting my point not? So you can do accordingly. Now when the concept is clear, you can do all the hit and trial. Okay. Now till now we have done percent of more, percent of less. Whenever these things will come, that means percent of change, that is final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. Final minus initial upon 100. Now sometime they will ask, X is what percent of Y? Now what is missing here? The more and less is missing here. is only asking what percent of y, or what percent of y is x. What percent of y is x. These terminology will be there in the question. So how we can solve? The meaning of this is x is what percent of y. When they are asking x is what percent of y or what percent of y is x, the simple meaning is x upon y into 100. X upon y into 100. When they are asking x is what percent of y or what percent of y is x, that simple meaning is x upon y into 100. When they are asking x is how much percent more or how much percent less than y, then this will come into picture. When more or less word is not there, directly they are asking, then this will come in picture. Sorry. In one question, the answer was negative percentage. Yes, negative percent means, I told you yesterday, when you are finding out percent of change, so negative means what? Negative means the decrement. The decrement there. Is this clear? When you go home, revise all these sentences. That's why I have decoded every sentence. I have decoded every sentence of the questions. And I'm giving you the hint, like what will be the answer, how you can understand, what is the concept behind that. And when you decode all this thing, you can answer all this thing. Listen carefully here, one very important thing. Somebody is asking, see, suppose anything was 100, now the thing become 80. Suppose this is x and this is y. The first question is y is how much percent less than x. And second question is when find the change, when a value is when x is decreased from 100 to 80, when x is decreased from 100 to 80, when x is decreased from 100 to 80, find the change. When x is decreased from percent of change, find the percent of change. First question is y is how much percent less than x. Second question is find the percent of change. When x is decreased from 100 to 80, very simple thing, the concept is important. See, y is how much percent less than x, this is the question. Final value and initial value, okay. See this question itself. Y is how much percent less than, the first concept is whenever percent of less and percent of more is coming, that means they are asking the percent of change, and percent of change is final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. Initial value is what? Initial value is basically the reference point. The reference point. And the reference point is here, y is how much percent less than x. That means they are comparing with respect to x. They are comparing with respect to X. So I told you, whenever this percent of less and percent of more is coming along with X, that means X will be always be your initial value and this is your final value, and answer will be 100 minus 80 upon question is what? Y, sorry, ulta ho gaya. This is 80. X is your initial value, fine, now is correct. Answer is minus 20%. Okay. Now if this is the question, what will be the answer? The answer will be minus 20 or 20. Suppose both options are given. If suppose both options are given, what will be the answer? Minus 20 or 20? The answer will be here 20%. Why not minus 20? Because see, we are not finding percent of less, we are finding percent of change. I told you, change is a neutral concept. So this minus sign is showing less, and the question itself is asking less. That means less itself is saying something negative. So the answer will be 20 when already less is given. Because less is already saying minus, minus here symbolizing only less. So the answer will be 20. But in second question, when they are asking percent of change, when any value decrease from 100 to 80, here also suppose both options are given minus 20 and 20, then in second case the answer will be minus 20. Why minus 20? Because change is neither positive nor negative, and we don't know whether there is a positive change and negative change, because here is saying less, less means negative, but here is nothing, they are saying nothing. They are asking percent of change. So whenever they are asking percent of change, the answer will be minus 20, because minus symbolizing here decrement. Minus symbolizing here decrement. So remember, less already बता रहा है कि भाई मैं कम हूं, I am less. ठीक है? So when they are less, that means 20 is the answer. There is no meaning of minus sign. When they are asking less, that means already they are telling that some decrement is there. So there is no meaning of minus. Because minus is what? Minus is symbolizing decrement. And the question itself is asking how much percent decrement. That means the answer will be 20. But when they are asking change, what is the meaning of change? Change means neither positive nor negative. That means if I say 20% change, so 20% change means it can be positive 20%. It can be, see, when I say less, percent of less, so percent of less means decrement. What this minus sign is showing? Minus sign is showing decrement. And the question itself is asking decrement. So there is no meaning of this minus here, because the question itself is asking decrement. So the answer will be 20, because we know that there is a 20% decrement, subtraction of 20%. But when we are asking change, then answer will be minus 20%. Why minus now? Because change is a neutral terminology. When we say 20% change, how you should know whether 20% increment is there or decrement is there? Because 20% can be positive, 20% can be negative when we talk about change. So that's why the change is, minus is showing here decrement. Minus is showing here decrement. So always remember, when they are asking less, so answer will be positive, that means 20% only, no meaning of negative sign here. But they are asking change, is a very simple. Suppose you have one friend, Mr. A. Whenever Mr. A will come to you, he always takes some 100 rupees. Always. That means if Mr. A is coming to you, he will take 100 rupees from you. But suppose another friend is there, Mr. B. Mr. B has category, whenever he will come, sometime he will take 100 rupees, sometime he will give 100 rupees. Listen carefully. देखो, सुनोगे तभी समझ में आएगा. If you start typing, you won't get. Please listen carefully. I am repeating. I have read your message. Please listen. I think you have write some 20 messages and the time you are wasting there, just concentrate here. I am repeating many times. I am giving you many examples, but listen carefully. What I am saying, Mr. A is there. Whenever Mr. A is coming, your value will decrease by 100%. Why value is decreased by 100%? Because he always takes 100 rupees from you. So if suppose I am saying Mr. A is coming, so what you will say? You can simply say that my value will decrease by 100. But suppose Mr. B is there, whenever Mr. B will come, he will give sometime 100 rupees, he will take sometime 100 rupees. So whenever Mr. B will come, Mr. B has to come with some disclamation or not. He is coming with the declaration, okay, I will take 100 rupees or I will give 100 rupees. Then only I will decide. Are you getting my point or not? Whenever Mr. B will come, we are not sure. And why we are not sure? Because sometime he will take 100 rupees, sometime he will give 100 rupees. So he is coming with, okay, positive 100 or negative 100, I am coming along with. Okay, today I am coming with positive 100. Positive 100 means I will give you 100 rupees. Then next day he is coming with, okay, I will take you 100 rupees from you. Then I can say, okay, what is the characteristic of Mr. V? So change is what? I told you yesterday itself, change is neither positive nor negative. If I say Mr. B is coming, so what you will say? Both possibility are there. Either he will take 100 rupees or he will give 100 rupees. Similarly, when I say change is 20%, so can you say where there is a decrement of 20% or there is an increment of 20%? You can't say. So you have to put the sign there. You have to put the sign there. Why you have to put the sign? Because we don't know whether change is positive or negative. The positive 20% showing there is an increment of 20%, but here the case is decrement of 20%. Here the case is decrement of 20%. So what I will say? I will say the change is of minus 20%. What is the significance of this minus sign? Significance of this minus sign is decrement. Otherwise, how you should know whether is an increment or decrement if there is a no sign? Are you getting my point or not? So whenever there is a change, what they are asking, how much percent change? The answer will be along with the sign. And why along with the sign? Because change is a positive and negative both terminology. So whenever Mr. B is coming, he is coming with a declaration, okay, today I am taking 100 rupees plus 100 or minus 100. Then only we will get to know what is Mr. B is going to do today. Similarly, whenever change is there, so we have to put the sign plus 20, minus 20. Why it is so? Because we don't know, it can be positive 20, it can be negative 20. So we have to put the sign to get the proper answer. I hope this is clear now. And now why there is no sign here? Because we know that whenever Mr. A will come, he will take 100 rupees. So there is no need of putting the declaration, okay, I am coming as minus 100. Because we know that whenever you will come, Mr. A will come, there will be minus 100. This is the characteristic of Mr. A. So whenever there is a less, what is the meaning of less? Less अपने आप बता रहा है there is some decrement. Less itself is saying there is some decrement. So there is no meaning of putting minus sign here. Are you getting my point or not? Why no putting minus sign? Because it's saying that less 20% less means less itself meaning is decrement. Then why to put minus sign? Why to put minus sign? Because we know that less means minus itself. So 20% less means 20% decrement. No need of putting minus sign here. Okay, if it's clear, very good. If it's not clear, repeat the class, listen again. I'm not going to repeat it. It's very simple thing. Okay. So this is one thing. Now some more problem. Some more problems. I have seen this problem many times. Simply they will say question like this. Suppose in a district 60% male are there. In a district or in a country, anything you can say, in a country 60% male are there and rest are female. Rest are female. Out of 60% male, 30% can read the newspaper. Can read the newspaper. Whereas out of female, only 20% can read the newspaper. Only 20% can read the newspaper. What is the question? The question is, out of 60% in a country, 60% are male and rest are female. Out of 60% male, 30% can read the newspaper. Rest are female. Out of rest of female, 20% can read the newspaper. Then the first question can be, male who can read the newspaper is how much percent more than female who can't read the newspaper. Who can't read the newspaper. First question. Male who can read the newspaper is how much percent more than female who can't read the newspaper. Now this is the first question, then can be second and third question. Let's take the approach. See, again, every data given are in percentage. Every data given are in percentage. And final answer again they are asking in the percentage. So what we will do? Instead of total population barabar X, what we will take? We will take total population barabar 100. Total population barabar 100. I am repeating myself. Instead of, by what you will, how you will start the question? You will start less total population barabar X. So instead of that, you can start less total population barabar 100. Are you getting my point or not? So let's take this thing. Okay, I think this is visible this side. Okay, this is visible. So let's total population barabar 100. Fine. How many male are there? 60% male are there. That means 60 male are there and rest 40 are female. Now, 30% of the male can read the newspaper. So 30% means what? 30% means 18 can read the newspaper. 18 can read the newspaper. And out of women, 20% can read the newspaper. That means 8 can read the newspaper. What we have done? We have taken 100 as total population. Out of this 100, 60% are male, rest are female. Out of this male, 30% can read the newspaper. The 10% becomes 6, 30% become 18. Now, out of female, 20% can read the newspaper. So, all data now we have. Whatever question they are asking, we can solve it. Whatever question they are asking, we can solve it. Male who can read the newspaper is how much percent more than female who can't the newspaper. So, out of 40, okay, here we can make less, more or less percent. Because then only the question will be correct, because it's not more. How much percent more or percent less? Make both. How much percent more or percent less? Make both. So if 8 can read the newspaper, 32 can't read the newspaper. 32 can't read the newspaper. Now the question is, male who can read the newspaper, so how many male can read the newspaper? 18. And female who can't read the newspaper is 32. Now question become what? The question become 18 is how much percent less than 32? 18 is how much percent less than 32? Percent less means they are asking about the percent of change. Percent of change means final value minus initial value, divide by initial value into 100. So this become final value. Now I am not going to repeat which is final value, which is initial value. I told you yesterday class, throughout the classes we will do all this thing. Now it should be clear to you. I have repeated at least 10 times. So this is final, this is initial. So 18 minus 32 upon 32 into 100. 12. No, 14. 32 into 100. 16, 7. 700 upon 16%. You can solve this thing and you will get your answer. You can solve this thing and you will get your answer. Now they can ask anything now, you can answer. Suppose they are asking the female who can read the newspaper, the female who can read the newspaper is what percent of, the female who can read the newspaper is what percent of the male who cannot read the newspaper. So you can answer this question. The female who can read the newspaper means what? 8. Is what percent of the male who cannot read the newspaper. So the male who cannot read the newspaper is 42 upon 42 into 100, x upon y into 100. The female who can read the newspaper is what percent of the male who cannot read the newspaper. X is what percent of y. Now you can answer this question. So this is the important thing. Then you can do any of the thing. This is the important one, then you can solve any of them. Because this figure at least you should know how to make. So whenever every data is given in percentage, final answer they are asking in percentage, you can assume 100 without any hesitation. But suppose some data are given, some data they will give, suppose they will say instead of 20%, they will say suppose 300 can read, 300 female can read the newspaper. Now you have to think whether I will take as 100 or I will take as a x. The reason is because now percentage and number both are involved. Percentage and number both are involved. How come 32 is coming? Which 32? Okay, out of 40, if 8 can read the newspaper, then subtract out of 48. If you subtract both, it will come as 32. It will come as 32. So if 8 can read the newspaper, from where this 8 is coming? Because it was given that out of female, 20% can read the newspaper. So if 20% can read, then 8 can read the newspaper. If you subtract these value, that means 32 can't read the newspaper. This is coming from here. I hope now all this are making sense. They are asking, if you know the basic, X is what percent, see the, whatever we have done percent of change yesterday, how questions are coming and what importance this has. If you master this thing, you can able to solve, I told you, 7 to 10 questions are directly coming on these concepts. Percent of more, percent of less, 20% more, 20% less. If you know all this thing, you can simply solve the problem. In this question, whether we put negative sign or not, we won't put negative sign. Why? Because already less they are asking. Already less they are asking. So if they will ask what is the percent of change, then only we will put negative sign. The question was, the person, the female who can read the newspaper is what percent of the male who cannot read the newspaper. So I told you X is what percent of Y means what? Just like see the this thing. I told you X is what percent of Y means X upon Y into 100. So what is X? X is the female who can read the newspaper is what percent of the male who cannot read the newspaper. So out of 60 male, 18 can read the newspaper, so 42 cannot read the newspaper. Okay, let's take a break of 10 minutes. They will come back and again do the rest of the questions, rest of the part. Still so many things are left in percentage, the type of questions. We will do that, don't worry. And we will try to solve all the problems of previous year. Fine? Let's take a break of 10 minutes. Okay. So some student has this concept like a confusion. So the question is asking percent of more or percent of less. So we should come along with the sign. Actually, see, when you solve the problem, generally they will ask either percent of more or percent of less first thing. The second thing is, it's not about the confusion whether more or less. It's all about the sentence. See, they're able to see is more or less, but what you will say, minus 20% less. Is this making sense? Suppose it is less, 20% less is coming. But what you will say, minus 20% less or plus 20% more. Actually, it is in the sentence. When they are talking about less, so less itself, they are able to check the question, they are able to see when you say percent of change. So percent of change, if I say 20% change, then I am not sure. But when I say minus 20% less, so minus, there is a no meaning here. There is a no meaning of minus here. So don't get confused. Whenever they will ask change, then only you have to put the sign. And they will generally not give positive and negative. This is for the better understanding of the problem. So don't get so much confused. Either they will ask percent of more or they will ask percent of less. Not both the sentences are there. Generally they will ask one thing, first thing. If they will ask both also, then we have to understand if yes, plus and minus, generally they will not give, never have they have given the plus sign and minus sign both there. Because they know that they have given the plus and minus sign only when they are asking the change. Because this plus and minus concept is only coming when change is there. So generally they are asking these things when change are there, then only they are giving, otherwise they never give you positive and negative both the thing, both the answer in the, when they are asking percent of more or percent of less. Since I have written the question, I have not calculated, So I have make percent of more or percent of less because I was not sure. Because when I solve the problem, then only I will get to know. Because I haven't remembered the question, I just make a question here. I will give you, generally in the examination, either they will ask percent of more or they will ask percent of less. And generally they are not giving plus and minus. But when they will ask change, then I have seen some question, they have put it the plus and minus. So remember, with the change, you have to put the plus and minus. Now don't get confused more here. Now I think I have answered this question. Raghav? Okay. Now, some more problem here, some more type of question here. Suppose the area of circle, this is radius. So this is a standard formula. This is pi r square. Pi r square. Suppose I am saying if radius is increased by 100%. Radius is increased by 100%. If the radius of a circle is increased by 100%, find the percent of change in area. Find the percent of change, or like a area will increased by, okay, now the question will be like this, then area will be increased by how much percent? Area of circle is increased by 100%. See, now we know that area is equal to pi r square. I can write this as a pi into r into r. Fine. Now you have to understand, whenever there is any constant, because the value of pi is not going to change. The value of pi will be remain 22 by 7 or 3.14 before the increment and after the increment also. That means there will be no impact of this. That means there will be no impact of pi or any number. Suppose any number is involved. A is equal to 23 into A into A into A. Since 23 is there, 23 is a constant number. So this will be there before the increment and after the increment also. So there is a no meaning of 23. Because it will be there before the increment and after the increment also. So we have to just concentrate on the r into r, because it's a r square. So we know that there is an increment of 100% here and there is an increment of 100% here. There is an increment of 100% here, 100% here, and we have done. This is simply this or not. A is equal to B into C. B is increased by 100% and C is increased by 100%. So we know that this is the case of successive increment or decrement or not. Because two things are in multiplication. Increment is going on. So this is the case of increment. And what we are doing for this? We are taking this value as 100. Yesterday we have done this question. We will take this value as 100. Now, the first 100% increment. Now, what is the meaning of 100% increment? Increment means addition. And 100% of any number is that number itself or not? 100% of any number is that number itself or not? So, 100% of 100 will be 100. 100% of 500 will be 500. 100% of 400 will be 400. Because 100% of any number will be that number itself. So when you will increase 100%, that number become 200. Now again, the second increment, successive increment. So when you increase again 100%, Now there is an increment of 200. There is a increment of 200, and when you increase 200, why 200? Because 100% of 200 is 200. So if you increase this become 400. Now the basic concept where people will make mistake. Can you tell me what is the increment here? Anything was 100, now that thing become 400. What is the increment? Please answer this question. Anything was 100. Okay, many people already answer. Great. Anything was 100, that thing become 400. What is the increment? What is the increment? Now I am giving the option. The first option is 300. Second option is 400. Third option is 200. Fourth option is 100. Yes, always remember, most of the people are correct. The increment is of 300. Remember this thing. The increment is of 300%. The increment is of 300%. You can apply the concept of change also. Final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. Or you can simply apply common sense. Suppose I have one marker, 3 more marker I have now I have totally 4 marker, but already I have 1. So the increment is only of 3 marker or not? I have 1 marker, now 3 more marker I collected from somewhere, total become 4, now it's become 400, the quantity become 400, but the increment is only how much? Increment is only 300 or 3 marker. Increment means how much extra? Already 1 was there, already 100 was there. Now the total quantity become 400. So increment is of 300%. Is this making sense or not? Fine. So increment is only of 300%. Now, what will be the case with the parameter? Or circumference, sorry here. Circumference. The circumference. We know that circumference is 2 pi r. Circumference of circle, if you don't know, you can remember this formula. It's a standard formula. We need not to derive this thing. We need not to derive this thing. This is the standard formula. The circumference of circle is 2 pi r. Now I told you there is a no meaning of constant. So there is a no meaning of 2 pi. So circumference is directly related with r. If r is increased by 100%, the circumference is also increased by 100%. Very good. If r is increased by 100%, circumference is also increased by 100%. Slowly, I am giving you all the questions which have potential to come in the examination. Now this question is very much have potential to come in the examination. And many PCS exam, already this kind of question has came. Okay? So if they have came in the PCS, they can come in the IS exam also. Okay? A simple one, but a little bit of concept. Already we have discussed yesterday all this thing, but today I am making it more competent questions for the UPSC or CSAT examination, and your mind is accepting all this thing because your basic is clear. Now solve one question. Solve one question. If the side of a square, if the side of a square is increased by 200%, if the side of a square is increased by 200%, find the percent increment in area. what is the formula of area of square? Area of square is side square. Area of square is side square. Suppose side is A. If the side of square is A, square means all sides are equal. All sides are equal. Find out the answer. Just find out the answer. Be very careful while answering the question. 200%, what will be the increment? Yes, most of you are right. Fine. A is equal to A square, A into A, 200%, 200%. Let's take this as 100. First 200% increment. This become 300. Now again 200% increment plus 600. This become 900. So increment is of 800%, not 900%. I hope you are able to answer. I think one student has given the 900. Apart from that, everybody is giving 800. So the correct answer will be 800, not 900. The correct answer will be 800, not 900. The increment will be, you can't see any response. Okay. I think if this is not visible, you can see it here. I think it's visible. Okay. This is the most difficult problem which can come on this concept. This is the one of the most difficult problem which can come on this concept. Are you getting my point or not? So slowly, I told you, like, you become master of mathematics, at least of the percentage. And once you become master of percentage, minimum 10 to 15 question, 10 question minimum. Okay? Now they can give anything. Instead of 200, they will give 300, they will give 400, anything they can give and you can answer. Now I told you the concept. Let me give you the formula also. Otherwise some people will say, sir is not giving the formula. There is a formula, AB formula. AB formula, sorry. This is together. AB formula. What is AB formula? It is giving the effective percent change is equal to A. Actually the small one, not capital one, is AB small. A plus B plus AB upon 100. What is this AB formula saying? If there is two successive increment or decrement, then we can apply this AB formula, and if increment is there, we will take value as positive. If decrement is there, we will take value as negative. For example, yesterday we have done one question. If the length of a rectangle is increased by 40% and breadth is decreased by 20%, yesterday we have done length is increased by 20%, that means anything 40%, anything was 100, if length is increased by 40%, is become 140. And breadth is decreased by 20%, that means breadth is decreased by, out of 140, 20% is 28. If I decrease 28, it's become 108. Yesterday we have done. So the overall increment is of 8%. Yesterday we have done without pen and pencil. Today I am doing with formula. So there was an increment of 40% and decrement of 20%. So I have taken 40 as a positive, decrement as a negative, plus 40, 20, 100. So this become minus 20 plus and minus, sorry, this become 20 and this become minus 800 upon 100. Okay, I think, yes, 12% increment was there. This is correct. So this is coming as 12% positive. This is coming as 12% positive. That means effective change is a 12% increment. 40% increment and 20% decrement. So when 40% increment is there, 140, 20% decrement means 28 decrement is become 112. So total increment is of 12%. Now we can do this part. We can do with the help of AB formula also. AB formula also we can solve this thing. For example, the question was square area is equal to A into A. So there is a 200% increment here and there is a 200% increment here. So what will be the AB formula? 200 plus 200, 200 into 200 upon 100. This become 400 plus 400 and this become 800%, and it is coming in positive. That means the change is of 800%. So either you can do it with the AB formula and you can do it the other method without pen and pencil, which we have done yesterday. It's up to you. Okay? AB formula, or you can do it by the other way. Always remember, this is giving you the effective change. Whatever value, if suppose increment is there, we will take positive. Decrement, we will take it as a negative value. Any doubt here? Now tell me, do you need AB formula or you can do it without AB formula? Tell me, do you need AB formula or which one is better, without AB or AB? We can do it without AB formula with a small practice, without even help of pen and pencil also. Without even help of pen and pencil also. Okay. So things are getting clear, but again, a caution here. The thing is that in the class it look easy sometime. The reason is I am explaining, but mass is mass. You cannot ignore it. It's sometime a difficult one also. I can say mass is a very easy, but I cannot ignore the third, which mass is, because yes, is a easy one. But since I am here, I am solving, I am making it easy, so it's look like okay, a very easy concept. But if you won't remember, if you won't practice it, if you won't go for it, then it's become problem for you. So my request to you guys is, go home, practice, whatever problem you will face, I'm ready to discuss. Probably after the class, after the class I will discuss that. But make sure that you will get all the concept. Otherwise it's look easy, but when you start solving, it's a difficult one. Revise, try to understand what is the meaning of each sentence. Whenever you see the question, what is the meaning of each sentence, and then try to answer. There is a one limitation of AB formula. What is the limitation? That limitation is, like yesterday we have done one question of cuboid where volume was A into B, volume was length into breadth into height. And we can apply the AB formula only for 2. There is no AB formula for 3. So what we will do? First we will apply the AB formula for 2. Whatever will come, suppose after applying here, it was coming as 32%. Now you have to again apply AB formula in these two values. So sometime a lengthy one also, if suppose 3 values are given. So AB formula has this limitation. So I need to tell you very frankly, yes, it is good for 2. It is good. Yes, you will get the sheet. Probably today itself the sheet is some 100 questions are there. So you will get the sheet. It will be uploaded in your portal. Don't worry. Okay, we are on it. It will get uploaded very soon. You will get that. You will solve the problems. So this AB formula, if 3 values are there, then first you have to apply for 2 AB formula. Whatever effective will come, then you have to apply for the third one. This is the one limitation of the AB formula. Okay. Percent changes area again. Which question? Area of square, or which area you are asking? Deepak, can you please explain? Which area you are asking? Area of square or area of like rectangle? We have done both the thing. Okay, I think in your sheet question number 10th is there. Sheet, okay, it will come in your board. Camera person, question number 10th of the slide. In your screen, question number 10th will come. Okay, question number 10th, just solve it. Give the answer very fast. This is actual CSAT 2016 problem. This is actual CSAT 2020 problem. 2016 problem. This is 2016 CSAT problem. Two number X and Y are respectively 20% and 28% less than third number Z. By what percent is number Y less than the number X? Is this difficult one or easy one? Okay, percent area of square. Okay, Deepak, I will explain, don't worry. Wait for some time. Now you are getting the confidence or not? You are able to solve actual CSAT problem. You are able to solve actual CSAT problem. You are getting the confidence or not? Yes, everybody is correct. Shall I need to solve this problem? I think no, you can solve it. You can solve it. Yes, I am happy. Hi Josh sir, very good. Actually after putting some 5-6 hours, you are able to solve. I'm really very happy that you are doing great. And it's not like 1 and 2, because generally in the class 1 and 2 student will give the answer. But mostly now here all are giving the correct answer. Please solve. Okay. Which question was there? Question number 10. Two number x and y are respectively 20 and 28% less than third number. X, y. This is 20% less. This is 28% less. Fine? So 20%, 28% less. Now third number I have already discussed. Third number less third number will be 100. This become 80. This becomes 78. This is the first statement and we can do it. Okay? Now, by what percent number y is less than number x? By what percent? The question becomes, by what percent 78 is less than 80? So percent of less. So percent of less means what? Percent of change. And percent of change means what? Final value minus initial value, divide by initial value into 100. Question is, by what percent number y is less than number x? Less than x. So x become your initial value. Okay, sorry, 72. Sorry. This is 72. Yes, sorry, bhai. Okay. I was checking whether you are sleeping or you are like really looking on the board. That's why I have written the wrong number there. Are you getting? I have written deliberately 78 there. The reason I was just checking whether you are sleeping or you are looking at the board. Okay. So this is 80, this is 72. So now what is the question? The question is 72 is how much percent less than 80? So less than 80. Remind yourself, less than 80, more than something, less than means percent of change, less than something, that value become initial. That value become initial value. Fine. That value become initial value. So initial value become 80. Final value become 72. The answer will be 10%. By 78 nahi aaya, it was 72. By mistake I have written there. By mistake I have written there. होप आप मुझे माफ कर दोगे उसके लिए मैंने जो गलत लिख दिया वहां पे. Please repeat the concept. Which concept? Ankita, can you explain like which concept? Ankita, Vishal, which concept I need to explain here? The question was two number are respectively 20% and 20% less than third number. So let's the number is, this is 100, this become 80, this become 72. This become 72. Now the question is 72 is how much percent less than 80? 72 is how much percent less than 80, and already we have done many times. Now I think you are clear with the percent of less, percent of more. I have done many times all this thing, or not? Now in your screen, question number 14 will come. Just wait. Question number 14. Again we have discussed, but the question language is in different way. Trick. Yes, that trick will come also. Don't worry. I will not leave any single stone. I will tell you everything, but when the time will come. When the time will come, I will tell you everything. A and B are two heavy metal blocks. If B is placed on top of A, the weight increase by 60%. How much weight will reduce? How much weight will reduce with respect to total weight of A and B if B is removed from the top of A? The question is already you have done. I can frame this question different language. The language is only different. Now try to solve. This is CSAT 2019 paper. What is the question? Suppose two blocks are there, A and B. If B is placed on top of A, suppose this is A and this is block B. When B is placed on top of A, the weight increase by 60%. The weight is increased by 60%. Okay? Now the question is, how much weight will reduce with respect to total A and B? With respect to total A and B. If B is removed from top, think about it, solve. Yes, many are giving the correct answer. Now I hope you are getting the confidence. You guys are getting the confidence, and it's give me I can say a joy, because most of you, because this is one of the difficult problem. When a student came out of the class or out of the examination, he was like, sir, yeah, this is very difficult one. And you are able to solve within fraction of second. Yes, everything is in the percentage. Where number was there? Number I have taken, because it was 100 I have taken, then number came. Otherwise everything was in the percentage in the previous question. Nothing was there in the number. Nadeem? Now most of you giving the correct answer. What happened? If suppose I will take A as 100, so when I put B, the weight increase by 60%. That means increase by 60. Now the language. What is the meaning of increment of 60%? The meaning of increment of 60% means addition of 60%. If you remember this, you can solve any problem. So 60% increment means 60% addition. So that means now the weight become 160. That means the B weight is 60. I think nobody have doubt here. This is very much clear, because when I put B, the total weight is increased by 60%. So if I take this as 100, this becomes 60. Why? Because after putting this, total weight is increased by 60%. Now the question is, how much weight will be reduced with respect to total weight? Remember, with respect to total weight, the question is, if I remove this weight, so how much we are removing? We are removing 60 with respect to total weight. This is the main point. And total weight is 160 in 200. You can solve this part. 600 upon 37.5%. 37 upon 5%. You can further solve it. 300 upon 8, 150 upon 4, 75 upon 2, 37 upon 5%. Is this making sense? Is it an easy one or not? If you remove this weight, how much it decrease? It decreased by 60 upon total is what? Total is 160. The change is 60 and total is, because they are asking with respect to total weight, and total weight is 160. Is this making sense or not? And this is one of the difficult problem of CSAT. Now this question is like this or not? A salary is 60% more than B salary. Then B salary is how much percent less than A salary? Same question, same logic with a different approach here. But that's why when people ask, sir, which book is important? I will say, go for a concept. Solve the problem, no issue, but go for a concept. Because I am sure they are not going to ask that question in the examination. So what is important? Important is like a, okay, provide the sheet with the with solution. Actually see, like I am giving the questions and the content team is making the solution and all. So I have guided them, yes, but still I'm not sure how much this concept they will use in the exam, or this solving the problem and all. So we have to be careful. AB formula only we applied when successive increment or decrement case is there. If successive increment and decrement case is not there, we cannot apply the AB formula. See, one thing is I need to tell you, always be focused here first thing. If suppose you will miss anything, then you can repeat the video and still, if you ask me, sir, repeat, I will again tell the same thing, or might be in some different manner. But if you go home and again repeat that, you will get to, or you will have better picture. You will have better picture. Question number 15, again CSAT problem. Question number 15. Solve it. Again a percentage problem. Solve this. When a runner was crossing the 12-kilometer mark, she was informed that she has completed only 80% of the race. How many kilometers was the runner supposed to run in this event? Yes, everybody is correct. Suppose this was a total track. Now what happened? He covered 80% when he ran 12 kilometer. That means still 20% is left, and we need to find out how much is 20%. How much is 20%? So what we know? We know that 80% is equal to 12. How we can find out 20%? There are so many ways. You can find out 1% from here. This become 12 upon 80. Then multiply both by 20. Why by 20? Because we need 20%. So this become 12 upon 80 into 20. This is one way. Another way is we know 80% is equal to 12. So what will happen? If we divide 4 by both sides, why by 4? Because we want 20%, so 20% become 3. That means if this is 12 kilometer, this will be 3 kilometer, and total race will be of 15 kilometer. Now I think you are getting the confidence or not? These all are the previous year paper. I haven't made this paper. All are previous year paper. Fine. Then question number 9th will be in your screen. Question number 9th. Solve that. A bit lengthy one, but easy one. Again, 2016 CSAT question. Simple one, solve it. Okay, Deepanshu has given the answer. Purnima has also given the answer. Yes, Anjali, fine. Now can I say this thing or not? Mass is easy, or at least percentage is easy. Or when you say percentage is easy, that means you are able to solve minimum of 8 to 10 questions of the actual CSAT paper. You are able to solve 8 to 10 questions of actual CSAT paper. Only if you know all the language, if you have practice, you can solve it very easily. The question is, Anita mathematics test had 70 problem carrying equal marks, 10 arithmetic, 30 algebra and 30 geometry. Total 70 problem was there. 10 arithmetic, 30 algebra and 30 geometry. Although she answers 70% of arithmetic, 7 here, 40% of algebra, 12 here, and 60% of geometry, 18 here, and you know 10% is 3, 60% become 18. She did not pass the test because she got less than 60% marks. For 60% marks, she need 42 marks. But how much marks she is getting? She is getting 37 marks. So how much more marks she need? 5 marks. Now I am leaving it to yourself whether this is a difficult or simple one. You can decide by yourself whether this is a difficult question or simple question. The question was total 70 problem was there, 10 arithmetic, 30 algebra, 30 geometry. Out of this, she attended 70% of arithmetic, 40% of algebra and 60% of geometry. That means she has done 37 questions. But for passing, 60% marks are required. 60% means she need 42 marks. And each question carry equal marks. So, how much extra marks she need? 5 marks extra she need. So again, this is a CSAT problem, and you are able to answer easily. You are able to answer easily. Then question number 11. Question number 11. Solve that. If P बराबर 40% of A plus 65% of B and Q बराबर 50% of A plus 50% of B, and A is greater than B. It is given that A is greater than B. Then what is the relationship between P and Q? In such problem, always the rule of rejection will work. What is the rule of rejection? You try to cancel out any option. You try to cancel out each option, and which option you are not able to cancel it out, that option will be the correct one. So, for example, the first option, P is greater than Q. Can I prove this option as wrong? P is greater than Q. The first option is P is greater than Q. Can I make this option as wrong? If I make this option as wrong, we can answer this will be the correct answer. If we are not able to make it wrong, it will be a wrong option. Okay? For example, A will, this is a conceptual question. This is a basic conceptual question. It is given that A will be more than B. That means the value of A will be always be more than B. That means one thing we are sure, Okay. Now tell me, if I see these two, so what I can infer from here? I can infer here that Q will be more. If I take any value, if I take these two things, one is 40% of A, one is 50% of A. So definitely if I see only A, I can say, if I am seeing only A, so the clear winner is Q. I can say Q will be more than P or not. But when I check these two, when I see B, who is clear winner? Clear winner is P. Who is clear winner here? Clear winner is P. That means in one case, Q is a winner, another case, P is a winner. So now decide whether we can say which one is greater, P is greater or Q is greater. Can we say anything from here? Do we have any clue? Do we have any clue here? ठीक है, देखो, this is a conceptual question. You can take number, you will try to prove this wrong and then try to find out the answer. I am giving it you as a homework. The reason is, again, a concept is involved here. If you are able to, most of the people are giving either B or D answer. Most of the people are giving either B and D answer. See, whenever such question will come, always they will give option none of the above and cannot be concluded. But you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful without giving D as an answer. And the reason being is because in such case, there are some trick, some small trick, and the whole answer will change. So always remember, there is a one case given here, A is always equal to B. What generally I will do in such question, I am giving you a hint. Generally, I will take a number. Suppose I will take A as 100. And since A is more than B, I will take B as 50 or anything. I will take B as 90 or any number I try to take, and I try to prove every option wrong. I try to prove every option wrong, and this will give you immense help while solving such problem. What generally I will take? Generally I will take A is equal to 100 and B is equal to some number. And that number, how I will choose? I will choose according to the condition. And what is my aim? My aim is not to prove any option correct. My aim is to prove that option wrong. Remember carefully, such problem can be solved with the help of rule of rejection. So don't go for, okay, I am getting a condition where this option is correct, I will mark that answer. No, you will be definitely wrong. Always try to prove this option as wrong. So if there is any condition, any value which is satisfying this condition and where this option is wrong, that means it cannot be the answer. It cannot be the answer, because answer is what? Answer is which is correct in every condition. According to the given question, which is correct in the every condition. That means if it is given A is more than B, so either I will take B value 50 or B value 90. In both case it will be correct. In both case it will be correct. But if any single case it is wrong, that means that cannot be the correct answer. So always check with the value, a simple value, so that you will able to answer. And what is your aim? Your aim is not to solve. Some people will do what? Some people start finding out 65% of 90. No. Remember that rule. You have to only prove it wrong. You can do approximation. You can do so many things. So I will suggest you can try this question and we will discuss. We will discuss. No issue with that. Okay, many people are saying B. I'm not sure I need to solve it. I haven't solved this question. But if this question will come in front of me, I will always go with a number. I will always go with a number, the first thing. And second rule is, I always try to prove that option wrong. I will always prove that option wrong. If I am able to prove that option wrong, then only I will go for that. Otherwise, I will not go for that. I am giving a hint who are saying Q is more than P. I am giving a hint who are saying Q is more than P. Take A is equal to 100 and B is equal to 99. Take A is equal to 100 and B is equal to 99 and try to see whether option B is correct or not. I'm just giving a hint. You can go and do solve the problem. Okay, some 1 and 2 type are more like left in the this percentage part. I'm coming to that. I have given the hint here. You can solve this. Still, if you will face problem, we can discuss. But always in such problem, rule of rejection will work. Rule of rejection will work. Shruti, I don't know the answer. Seriously telling, I need to solve it. By my experience, I am giving, like you can take different value and try to prove every option wrong, and which option you are not able to make it wrong, that will be your correct answer. So if you ask me, sir, A is answer or B is answer, literally I need to solve. And how I will solve, I told you my mindset. That's why I'm giving you the homework, because it's required lot of reasoning, lot of things. So when you solve, when you practice that, your mind will be more clear how to solve such problem. I can solve it. I can take 2 number, 3 number, and definitely I will make every option wrong, or like whatever option is wrong, only one option will be left which will be correct. Okay? So I can do all this thing. But I want you need to practice. Somebody was saying B is correct. So I am not sure. It might possible B is correct. But generally in such cases, when you are saying B is correct, I have found if you take very close value, like 199.9999, so because I just look the question and it's look like, I'm not sure. It's look like B will be wrong when you take that value. That's why I have given the hint. You can take this value. It might possible A can be correct, B can be correct, C can be correct, D can be correct. I'm not sure. I need to solve. I don't have answer here. I have only question I need to solve. But I told you my mindset. How I will solve? I will simply take the value. I will try to prove every option wrong. You can just do once. If you're not able to find out the answer, then we will do it together. Okay? Okay. And I will also do the same thing. Tomorrow when I solve, I will take the value and I will solve itself. I'm not going to tell you any other approach. It is better to leave such question in short time. Who say you have short time in the examination? Now you have lot of time in the examination. They are the easy ones, sir. Since you have not practiced, that's why you are saying it's difficult one. Now somebody is taking, only 2 possibilities are there. Now I am giving more hint. Only 2 possibilities are there. A is more than B is given. So one possibility is take very close value. One possibility is take very close value. This is the first approach. The second is take very far value. Now you will able to find out your answer. Only 2 approaches are there. First, take very close value and see which option is wrong. And see which option is wrong. Cut that option. Take far value and see which option is wrong. Cut that option. And definitely third option will be wrong. This cannot be equal. Then you will find out the answer. You can see only these 2 cases. One very close value, one very far value. And try to find out the answer. Okay. They are not difficult one. Again, I am telling they are the easy one, but with right approach. And what is the right approach? You have to find out which option is wrong, and this will work when I will come to the number system. In number system, most of the problem can be solved which option is wrong. You will cut the option and you will get your answer. Beta, I will explain the solution, don't worry. I'm just giving you time. You can go and you can find out, you can solve once, and definitely I will solve. But I won't just try this question once. Okay. Now just we have discussed A is equal to B into C. So if there is a 10% increment here and 20% decrement here, so this is the case of successive increment and decrement. This is the case of successive increment and decrement. Okay, most of the comment which I am looking here is, you guys are trying to prove every option correct, which is a wrong approach. Think reverse way. Think reverse way. Don't try to make option correct. Try to put option wrong. Okay, just listen carefully, try to solve. If not able to solve, I will tell you the answer. Don't worry. But first, try to find out the answer with a logic. And logic is try to, because what you guys are doing, you guys are taking two value and you are cutting one option and other option you are saying, suppose it came P is less than Q. So you are saying option number B is correct. No. You have to make option B also wrong. It might possible option B is also wrong. So don't go by this approach. Listen carefully, try to prove every option wrong, and then you will able to answer. Okay. I am coming to this question. Till now we have done A is equal to B into C. If A is increased by 10%, B is decreased by 20%, either we will go by AB formula or we will do by the successive increment and decrement. But suppose the question is, this value is increased by 20% and because of this value is increased by 25%. Now not about these two. Not about these two. If this value is increased by 20% and this value, because of this value is increased by 25%, what is the percent of increment or decrement in C? Percent of increment or decrement in C. For example, note a question. For example, note a question. Because of 25% increase in, because of 25% increase in price of a ticket, price of a movie ticket, because of 25% increase in the price of a movie ticket, the total collection increased by, the total collection of the money is increased by 25%. Sorry, increased by 50%. The total collection of the money is increased by 50%. Find the percent of increment in the number of tickets sold. Find the percent of increment in the number of tickets sold. What is the question? The question is total collection, price of one ticket into number of tickets sold. We have seen this thing yesterday. What is the question? The price of ticket is increased by 25%. And ticket sold is, total collection is increased by, 50%. What is the increment in the number of tickets sold? Now we cannot go with the AB formula. Why? Because this is not the case of successive increment or decrement. If both these values will increase, then we can apply successive increment and decrement. In such case, what we will do, we will simply, either you can take this value as 100, initial value, and this value also as 100. So this value become 10,000, this value as 100, this value as 100, this value become 10,000. Fine. So initial value was 100, 100, this was 10,000. This is increased by 25%. Increase by 25% means this value become 125. Now this value become, suppose n. Number of tickets sold, this value is n. Now this value is increased by 50%. That means this become 15,000. Can we find out the value of n? N become 15,000 upon 125. I think this will come as 120. This will come as 120. So anything was 100. Now that value become 120. So how much it increase? It increased by 20%. It's increased by 20%. I'm repeating. Tickets, total collection is equal to price of one ticket into number of tickets sold. Now, the total collection is increased by 50%. I have taken 100, 100. You can take 10, 10. Anything you can take, because everything given in percentage and final answer is also in the percentage. So you can take 100, 100. You can take it 10, 10 according to your conviction and according to the question. So I have taken 100, 100. This become 10,000. Now this is increased by 25%, increased by 50%. 50% means आधा बढ़ गया. Anything was 1, now it's become 1.5. Anything was n, yes, you can apply AB formula, and you can, then you have to, like a effective is 50, and you can apply that, that's also correct. So this become 125. Now you can find out the value of n, and this become a simple thing. This become a simple thing. Yes, Akhil, you are also right. Now they can ask the question, length is increased by 25% and total area is increased by 50%. Find the increment in the breadth. Find the percent increment in the breadth. And this kind of question they can ask in the examination. Okay, that's it from my side for today. And some like a doubt some people have, I will take that doubt. Like Deepak has some doubt, I will take that doubt. And one doubt was P is 7 times of Q, I will take that. Hope you understand today class. The level is little bit up, because why level is up? Because you are moving towards becoming a Shaktiman. Yes. And next few class, you will become complete Shaktiman from Gangadhar. So, except doubt, I will take the doubt. Except that, I think everything is clear in today's class. You will get the answer, don't worry. You will get the answer of the sheet. Okay, great. So you enjoyed the class, that's the main point. The concept is clear, and the best part is you are not able to only solve my problem, but along with that you are able to solve UPSC problem also. And it's become very easy for you to solve the UPSC problem because you have, like already we have seen, we have taken the previous year paper and you are able to solve most of the problem. Okay, it was easy. Again, remember, UPSC asks conceptual problem, not the like a calculative problem. So you have to remember this thing. Now only 1 and 2 type of question is left. Is going very like a long because percentage is very basic, so I am taking 2 class, 3 class. But my aim is simple. Once percentage is over, I will be a bit relaxed because I know if you know percentage, minimum 10 question you can solve in the actual examination. Okay. Now somebody has doubt if a statement is P is 7 times of Q. See, close your eyes and think which is more. P is 7 times. That means P is more than Q. Let's take P as this, Q as this. Now there are 2 possibilities. P is equal to 7Q and Q is equal to 7P. People has doubt which one is correct. Now why P is equal to 7Q? See here, P is already 7 times and Q is a smaller one. So if you have to make equals, if you have to make them equal, then you have to multiply 7 into the smaller one or not. You have to multiply 7 into the smaller one. Then only Q will become equal to P. If you multiply 7 into P, so which was already like a large, it's become extra large or not. It was already 7 times Q. If you multiply 7 times more, it's become this much. And Q can be make both equal. If what is the meaning of equal sign? Meaning of equal sign are both are equal. That means the quantitative value are same. So if I have to make both equal, what will happen? This value should increase. And how much increase? 7 times. So this is the correct explanation. P is 7 times of Q. So P is equal to 7Q. This is wrong. One thing. Second thing, the area of square type question. That question was like we know that area is equal to of square is A square or simply side square. So simple meaning is A into A. There is a 200% increment here and 200% increment here according to the question which I have taken. Now if these two are increased by 200%, one way was apply AB formula. So AB formula will say 200 plus 200, 200 into 200 upon 100, and if you solve, there is an increment of 800%. This is the one way to solve. The second way was, since we know that 200% and 200% increment both cases, so what we will do, we will take this as 100. And now 200% increment. What is the meaning of 200% increment? Increment means addition. How much? 200%. 100% of any number is that number. 200% of that number is double of that. So 200% of 100 become 200 or not? This become 300. Now again 200% increment. So 100% of 300 is 300. 200% of 300 is 600. So this become 900. And I told you anything was 100. Now it's become 900. So there is an increment of 800. There is an increment of 800%. Okay, now I hope this is making sense. Thanks for your time. Tomorrow we will meet and do some really nice questions. And tomorrow first half, First 1 hour, I will finish per percentage. Second 1.5 hour or like 2 hour, I will finish profit and loss. Yes, tomorrow we will complete the profit and loss. Thank you for today. Thanks.